Good evening and welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. No hat. So those who had hair gel in the pool, you are the winners tonight. Yeah. So, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Just a few things going on. Make sure my roast bottle's right there in the shot. So, good evening. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Looks like we got some chatter going on in the chat. Slot R says, I've been fiddling with my bollards in the slot shed. All right, Dave. I'm glad you're out there working in the slot shed. Collection is in the house tonight. Chris Feder. Chris Freder. I vote clay instead of hair gel. Actually, today is not gel. It is paste. So, or no, wax. Sorry. I need just for men. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah. Mark Cunningham, welcome. Gary, good to have you, Gary. Hey, Steve Sweeney, welcome. Chris Patskowski. I butcher that every time. I apologize, Chris. I should just stop trying to pronounce your name. Chris, funny, I'm watching the Philadelphia Flyers and Washington Capitals. Steve, I'm sure we will accomplish a lot, as always. I probably should see how loud the room mic is. That's not too bad. So you can hear John Mark if he says anything. John Mark's running some laps, working on some cars. I need to repair one of his cars right here. I need to solder the wires back on that. So as we're talking, I'm going to do that so he can actually run a few laps with it. I am going to solder. This is for Slot R. I'm going to solder on camera. Just for you, man. Just for you. Here we go. I should move the camera so you guys can see me. One. Does. So, how's everybody doing? What is going on in your slot shed tonight? Off. Should probably make sure that I put those on right. So who else do we have? Jerry is in the house. Bo is in the house. John Tucci in the house. Let's see. Who else? Guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. 51 already? Wow, that's amazing. Happy Tuesday. Dusty, we miss you at the track, bro. Hopefully you're doing well and getting some stuff done. Dusty had an awesome race on Saturday. Proud of him. He's got his cars tuned really well, and he kicked my butt, man. Had a second place and a third place finish. And then he even won on Thursday night with his STP Skyline at Cincy Slots. So he had a really good week on the track. So well done, Dust. Who else do we have in the house? Marty without glasses freaks me out. Yeah, I don't wear them. I don't not go without them very often. I'm pretty blind. Hey, Greg. Daryl. Hey, big shout out to Daryl. Daryl came all the way. I don't think he ran one lap on Saturday. He was our marshal. Oh. Fire that back up. Broke. He was our track marshal or race director. So he did an awesome job. And probably by the end of the day, really understood fast laps really well. So, yeah, good stuff. Hey, Greg, good evening. HSF, good evening. Thanks for joining the chat tonight, guys. Bo is a hockey fan as well. I love to play hockey. I don't watch it a whole bunch. I watch the Blue Jackets. I watch the Colorado Avalanche. Those are my teams I root for. Hey, Mike. Good evening. Mike, we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the trip to Michigan. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Hopefully get a chance to see your shop. But excuse me while I solder this wire lead. Hold on. There we go. So, but we're looking forward to the Nationals. I have zero shot of doing well. My GT car, although shout out to Greg. Greg did some tuning on it after the race, and he's got it better, but I think I'm just going to have to break down and spend the money on it. I've been not wanting to do that, but it was pretty obvious that that car was way off the pace on Saturday. So, but I'd like to thank all the guys that came on Saturday to the two lines. Shout out to Jim and Alan and Rex, Daryl, Greg and Andy. Steve made the trip. Dusty was here. I think there were 9 of us racing, 10 people here maybe. 8 of us racing, 9 people here. That's what it was. But, yeah, good time. I think everybody enjoyed the layout. All right, John Mark, I got this thing back. You just want to test it, make sure it's going the right direction. Nope. So, yeah. So, Mike, we're looking forward to it. We had a nice little prep race on Saturday here. Ed, thanks. It's going well. I am right now soldering on John Mark's motor leads, and I have them backwards. So the wire, this motor doesn't have a mark on it. And the wire, not sure if that changed something, but it's a stretch to get that wire to that motor. So I'm probably going to have to work on that. Hold on. I bet. No. Yeah, I'll make it work. So, while I'm still working on this, I'll see if I can talk and solder at the same time. Obviously not. There we go. Clean tip. Nice and shiny. That's what we like. Gosh. These fumes are awful. All right. Now you should be back in business, John Mark.
So apparently, Daryl took my 917 home.
Oh.
914.
Not the 914?
Yeah.
917. There you go. So Daryl is sneaky and took John Mark's 917 to tune it up. That's awesome. All right. Sorry, guys. A little distraction there. So, Ed, thank you for joining. John Albright, welcome. Made it with a few seconds to spare. There you go. Hey, no drama. There's Daryl. John Mark just realized that it was the 917 that you took, not the SRC 914. That'll be a fast car when you get it back.
Yeah.
Terry Mann, welcome. Good to have you. Hey, James Tharp. The Reds beat up the Dodgers and Yankees this past season, but we couldn't make it to the playoffs. James could not make it to the playoffs. And now it's the Yankees-Dodgers in the World Series. Hey, Tony. Florida survived. That's good to hear, man. Good to hear. Glad you're doing okay. So fast. Hello, so fast. Jerry, I am crying in my beer over the Mets. Yeah, Jerry. That's kind of stinks. Thought maybe we would sneak the Mets in, but it didn't happen. Actually, let's go over to the pit cam. Let's see. What is the pit cam? Pit cam. I have it marked pit cam. Oh, wait. That is John Mark working on a car. Dusty's like, surely John Mark's not working on a car. I know John Mark is not working on a car. That's what he says. But he was. He was putting the body back on it. So, Bo, did you ever send that email? That was from John Albright. A rare event here, everyone witness. That's funny. Just finished tuning John Mark's 917. Very nice. Very nice. You could race it this week.
I can't. I won't be there.
No, you won't. John Mark won't be there Thursday. Well, that stinks. Slaughter. Technically, that's not soldering on camera. This is true. I've got the track cam set up. So, and that's usually my close-up camera. Question from the live stream on Sunday or Saturday, the race. Did this screen work out okay? This one right here, this screen. I've moved it so it's not quite straight on like it should be. I felt like you could read what was going on during the race, especially during the race. Those banners with the names and the lap counting are really big. So I went back and looked, and I thought it looked pretty good. If I get a mixer, a video mixer, then I can superimpose that like I do this. But I don't have a way to get that signal into this computer to make it a to be able to superimpose it. So we'll get there. We will get there. Just finished. John Marks. Hey, Gina. Welcome. Hey, B2. Good to have you. Let's see. Ben. Good evening. Hey, Nick. Yep. Hope you're doing well. Steve. Steve was super fast on Saturday. Congrats, Steve, on getting the win on my track. This track's pretty easy to figure out pretty quick. It's not too complicated. It's not overly technical, but it does have a couple tricky little spots that you can lose a lot of time if you don't figure it out. So, but Steve was really fast on Saturday. So, Steve, thanks for making the drive all the way up. I appreciate it. I don't know about Saturday. We have our Halloween carnival in the parking lot that some of you guys maybe parked at on Saturday. And I've got some responsibility to that, and that starts at 4. So I don't know if I can get to you and get back in time. And then our Halloween parade, which almost goes past my house, is Saturday night, the annual Halloween parade. So I'm got to be back for that as well. So I still haven't made a decision yet, but let's see, what else do we have? 2-line slot cars. Well, hello, D'Angelo. Good to have you. Slot R, give the man credit. The iron is smoking. I'm not soldering a chassis, right? Uh-oh, John Mark is running. Oh, I almost ran John Mark's C8 Corvette on Saturday because mine was not running well at all. So let's go over to the John Mark's getting some laps in. Look at what his lap times are. Let's do this. Hang on. We could do this. Look at his lap times. He's in the white lane. 5.1s, 5.2s. What?
Yeah.
Dang it. My C8 is slow, dude. It is slow. What motor does that have in it? The pink? The pink or the blue?
Looks like pink.
Pink? Okay.
21.4.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bo, Dusty had a great race, man. He had a fantastic race. Let's do this. Valid, John. Gluing up and repairing the wife's 917 body. HSF, nice. Yeah, the 917s are great. Is it an NSR 917 or a Fly 917? Can't go wrong with either one, but those NSRs, they look really, really good. PB Dangler, hey, Marty, what's up? Welcome. Good to have you. Hey, Daniel Thomas. Thanks for joining tonight, guys. Yeah, I mean, I thought I could go over the results maybe, but I think that all that was in the live stream, and a lot of guys have watched that, so I don't want to bore you with those. But Steve Halsman was at the top, and Greg and Dusty, Jim Allen, Rex, all the guys really got around. Andy, all the guys really got around the track well. I think they picked up on it pretty quick. I think there was this right there where John Mark, that little, I call it the corkscrew, but it's not really. Here at the end, We had some outs there on that corner. We had a few outs in the S turns coming into that first right-hander. So right there, we had a lot of people come out there. The little hitch over the bridge, just trying to get as much speed before you have to hit the brakes. But yeah, it's challenging enough. Daryl said he's trying to make it easier for me to entertain. I will say that, and Steve can attest to this, Bruce can attest to this, hosting a race, it is a little nerve-wracking. I was stressed a little bit. I wanted to make sure everybody had a good time and had fun and enjoyed being here. And I think they did. Everybody seemed to have fun. Yep. Hey, George is in the house. Area 51. Thanks, George. What are you working on tonight? Because I know you're probably at the track working on something if you're watching the stream. So hopefully you're doing well. Man, George, I missed his stream on Sunday night because I didn't see it until after he finished. And I was watching it, and his track, that wood layout looks really, really good. So shout out to Kevin, Racetrack Scenics. He put together a really nice layout for George. That track looks like it'd be a lot of fun to run some laps on. And George is getting around the track pretty fast. What you looking for? I don't have any of the big ones left, but you can stack a couple small ones. So, yeah, so what else do we have? So, George, welcome. Good to have you. I'm going to go back to this. But, Daryl, you did make it easier for me. I didn't have to direct the race, but I kind of felt bad that you did not get any laps in. Which kind of stinks. There we go. Putting my Mosler back together. I was messing with gearing, and I realized that this Mosler had a gear set that I might be able to use, and then I realized after I pulled it off that I can't. So, that's one thing that I've not really figured out yet is messing with gearing. I'm not very good at figuring out what gear setup is best for a track. Maybe that seems simple to some guys, but I just noticed that I'm not very confident in deciding what gearing to use. I feel like I always go the wrong direction. So anybody have like a good rule of thumb? I know that they've got the gear ratio charts, but Steve was giving me some pointers on where that needs to be. So I'm going to play around with that with my cars that are heading to Michigan. Anthony. Hey, Anthony. Welcome, man. Thanks for checking in. Chief Redback. Good to have you. Roast, the official coffee of Two Lions Tuesdays. That's right. Don't forget your roast coffee. I did not have a cup of coffee today. Daryl Rogers, pit dude, race official, corner marshal, and all-around good guy. That's right. John Albright, you hit the nail on the head, man. Hit the nail on the head. There's John Mark. Hey, he's in two places at once. HSF Saturday race stream was killer. So HSF, one of the things I wish I had was a second camera angle. I have this camera set up, and I don't really move it because once I've got it where I want it, I hate to move it. I'm using my phone, and that was the wide angle. So if I go to the race cam, that puts me there. And that worked out pretty good. That camera angle is good. You don't see the very outside of the lane, but guys were giving me a hard time because I was cutting off everybody's heads because I actually had the camera so that you could see all of this inside turn that's right in the bottom left hand of your shot. I just wanted to make sure that everybody got to see. That's usually fun action in that corner. That makes it fun. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, HSF. I appreciate it. Thank you. It was 3 hours, man. Hey, there's Greg. Greg, hey, thanks for working on my car, man. I really appreciate you taking a look at that. It was a little frustrating on Saturday. I have to admit, I didn't spend the time on my cars like I needed to. I was too worried about getting all of this the way it needed to be. The pit area was ready to go. Guys had access to outside if they needed to get outside, and just did some organizing and tried to clean up. And it's really hard to keep this basement clean. These walls, I feel like there's always stuff. Yeah, there's always stuff to clean up. So, yeah, Greg, it was a lot of fun. I think that everybody, Greg just mentioned it, that we had a great time, that it was a blast. So I think everybody enjoyed it. Yeah, and Steve, the checkered flag right there, Greg was super fast on the track. Hey, Gary, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you had fun to watch. Daryl, what car did you tune for me? Mike Stott, we can't wait to get up there to the Nationals. I have last place all wrapped up. No, he doesn't. Dusty's cars are flying. He was super fast. I think I will have last place wrapped up. But Steve Holzman's hat was the star. The back of his head. Poor Steve. He didn't know it. We were chatting. We didn't think about that. Bo, 2 Lion slot cars. I still have my Quebec Nordics jersey from the good old days. I like the Avalanche too. Nice. Yeah, Bo. That was a good moment. And what's up, Marty? I asked you for your track layout a couple days ago. It's coming along. Oh, so you are going to build it. Very good. You will enjoy the layout. It's a fun layout. Hey, it's a secret Weber. What's up, Marty? It's Slot Brothers and Sisters. Hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. I remember the Flyers last cup in 74. That's how long I've been in agony. No drama. Well, I'm a Blue Jackets fan. It's never happened for us, so yeah, it's all good. Sweet smoke, just a poke. The good old days. I guess there is one that followed for Eric Lindros. I was a big Peter Forsberg and Sakic fan. Those years for the Avalanche were some fun years for me, and I was playing hockey at the time, and it made it a lot of fun. So what cars do people have on their benches right now? Anybody working on anything? Anybody doing any scratch building? Anybody like right now? I'm putting my Mosler, which is the limited edition from 2 years ago. So I'm putting that back together. This is a great car. This is a very fast car. And it's got quite a few laps on it. And John Mark wanted to share me. I want you guys to be in shock because John Mark got a new car. today. And it is another golf livery. It's another golf livery. C7 NSR. Okay. You need a little more body float in that, John Mark. Another half turn. And you're going to need some silicones for this track. If we were at John Albright's, it'd be all over the rubber. Be jealous, Daryl. Another golf livery. That's a cool car. Very cool car. But yeah, what's everybody working on? Dusty, he's putting a body back on. Yeah. Was he really working on the car, or was he just putting a body back on? I found a set screw from Saturday. Somebody lost a set screw. I'll just put it in my box. So if it's somebody's they're missing, they find they're missing it. Sideways 512BB, great car. You wouldn't think it by looking at it. A face only a mother could love. Yeah, it's not the sexiest Ferrari out there, but John Marks runs pretty good on the track. Let's see. Daniel. Hey, Daniel. Daryl, it may not be until the new year before I can make it. Yeah, we'll try to get Daniel down here at some point. It's a long, long drive for 7 minutes of racing. They were the best year in and year out when I was growing up in Nova Scotia. That's cool. Edward says, that car sounds fast. Yeah. Is that the black Corvette? Yeah, that's a pretty quick car. Let's go to the track. Let's go to the track. And we can see John Mark is running. He's 5.2s to 5.6s. He's got a 5.0 in there, I think. I see. That car, it just stays in the slot, man. He can really push it, and it will stay in the slot really well. Greg, did you figure out what you obviously did if you got it fixed. So what was it? Let's talk about it. What was causing your wheel hop? Was the chat correct? And then you got a lot of opinions, a lot of pointers from the chat last week on that. So good to know that you got it fixed. My C8, it was bound up, the rear, and it's so much quieter now. I think I just had some tire rub going on, and yeah, but it's back in business. I think it's slightly underpowered. I think it would help if it had the 25K motor. Those seem to be what was fastest on Saturday. So, Greg, good to know that you got that fixed. Let's see. KR Bridges. Good evening, everyone, from Western PA. At least we think we figured out what was going on with Roxy. Yeah, I think Roxy's tires were shot. I think those have a lot of laps on them. So next time I will keep my big head out of the live stream camera. It's all good, Steve. Ed, what guide is he using? He has got a slot invasion guide on that Corvette. On this Corvette, he just still has the stock NSR guide. So John, you know me too well. I've had a cart full of crap I need to order for 2 weeks, and I just can't bring myself to order it. But after my bad showing on Saturday, I've got to do something. So I'll get caught up. But you kind of hit the nail on the head, John. That's good. I live 30 miles west of Boston when Mr. Orr came to town. That's pretty wild. To get to see Bobby Orr, that would have been great. Hey, Brandon. Fellow lunatics, that's right. To hang out on Tuesday, you got to be. The red tires were clashing with the pink paint job. My friend Cam at Tailspin just printed a 54 Oldsmobile, my first real race car for the showdown. That's awesome. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Bo, when I went to the garden, I wore my Habs jacket and no one gave me a hard time then. I guess today's a different story. Mood has changed since 97. Yeah. Indeed, looking good. I'd love to get a trigger pull or two on that track. Yeah, Tony, man, you ever make your way to Ohio, let me know. We'll get the boys together and we'll run some laps. It's a fun. Let's go back to the race shot. It's a fun layout. Here's most all of it's in tune or in focus. The S's are fun, and if you're not good through the S's, if your car's not good through the S's, you're going to lose a lot of time. So they're a lot of fun. Yeah, George, I see how far behind I am on the comments, but yeah, man, it looked really good the way you got your lighting and the cars. You can tell you're really laying down some rubber now because it looks like the cars really hook up well, which is cool. Hey, what's up, Tom? Thanks for tuning in, man. B2 question, smart race question. Is the program able to issue penalties without the penalty being served in the pits? B2, I will have to be honest with you. I've been using Fast Laps for quite some time now and Race Coordinator. But I believe that in Smart Race, when you're running digital, you can, I think the only way to serve the penalty is in the pits. That's the penalty, is you have to go in and stop and go, I think, and cross the fuel line, I think. Somebody who uses Smart Race every day might have a better answer. Daniel, that is a great question. I don't know. It will probably depend on what the final layout looks like. What voltage. I'm going to guess that's probably going to be around 12 volts. But that's only a guess. But I would say that's what we're running here, 12 volts. And I'm guessing that's probably what that track will be set at. But Mike, if he's still in the chat, he could probably answer that. Let's see. Anything else? Did coffee get as expensive at your countries like here in Germany? Even chocolate reached sky-high prices here. Yeah, Bo, we've seen an increase in coffee prices for sure. Hey, Timothy. Accelerate, brake, curves, track talks. Yep. Just like you were in a rally car. Let's see. Yeah, coffee is ridiculous expensive. Yeah, roast coffee, they've done a good job of trying to keep their drink costs the same. So I don't think they've had any increases in a while. But I've seen the increase in the cost of the beans, just because his cost has increased. So let's see. What else do we have out here? Vin. Wow, I'm really late. Hey, D.W. Barker. Yeah, no worries, man. I'm not sure what you're thanking me for, but good to be here. Appreciate you tuning in. Tom is a Hartford Whaler. TV Dangler got the 4 NASCARs coming from Carrera shipped today, hopefully this weekend. That's great news to hear that the Carreras are shipping. I honestly, I've not pre-ordered, so I'm hoping that I can still pick one of those up. I haven't bought a Carrera car in a long time. Carrera, I apologize. Bo still has 2 hats, but going back to PB Dangler, got the 4 NASCARs coming. I really should have ordered a couple, and I haven't. So I'm going to see if I can't pick one, at least one up, and they look really, really good. It would be a fun class to run digital. So maybe I pick up 4, and we can use that as a digital class here. But yeah, that'd be fun. John Woodbright. I crap you not. The license plate frame on my 82 GPZ 1100 said take off. Chris Farrader, who makes which one? I must have missed it. Hey, Trent. Thanks, man. I'm glad you like the track. It is a lot of fun to race on. It's not the longest track. It's only about 60 feet, like 59.6, maybe 0.5. So just shy of 60 feet lane length. So it's short. And so it's one of those, you can get behind in laps really fast if you're not careful. If you're a couple tenths, a half a second off the pace, and 4 or 5 laps, you've lost a lap, come out of the slot, you lose a lap. Every time you mess up, you lose a lap. So that's the one thing about a shorter track. So you gotta be in the slot. Vin, I was not pleased with my finish, but I never am. But it was my own fault. So I could run really good in the white lane, in the middle lanes, the white and red. My cars did not perform well on the outside lanes, and usually those are the lanes I really like. Because it's my home track. I just couldn't get any grip at all. And honestly, we had the door open, and I think we were just dealing with a little bit of dust all day. I think guys noticed their tires got dirty pretty quick. That's the one problem in the basement here, is we do have to deal with some dust. So if there's any kind of traffic up above us, like if the dogs go crazy and run up and down the floor, you'll notice some dust on the track pretty quick. Let's see, what else do we have? Daryl remembers the Dayton Gyms. Is that the same time as the Columbus Chill days? Did they play in the same? Bob Hook, working on 2 LMPs and 3 GT cars from Skeletric. Nice. The new LMP cars look really good. I like some of the stuff that's coming out. Yeah, John Mark's C7 is pretty sweet. It's a great livery. Bo, I'm waiting here in Germany for the NASCAR cars. Greg, finishing up my 125th NASCAR for Home Racing World Proxy and a midget for Georgia's Proxy race. Nice. Gary, I need the golf livery in my stable. That's right. DK Moon, I still prefer golf with the mostly light blue and lesser orange. Yeah. Planning my Christmas haul, but I've got a Fly 91710 Jägermeister that I'm working on. Nice, Tony. Dusty has a 917 Jägermeister, but it's an NSR. It's a good-looking car. New owner of an Omni slot box emulator. Nice, Mark. Congrats. Love being able to switch back and forth, but looks like it's time for a lap counting system. Mark, just to fill you in on my lap counting system that I built, we didn't have any missed laps, but we had some exaggerated lap times, about 3 to 4 tenths on some laps. So if the cars went through if there were multiple cars that went through the middle lanes at the same time, it would cause some missed laps, some fast laps. What I mean by that is a lap that probably was a 4.8 or 4.9 lap would be a 4.6 lap, 4.5. And it's pretty hard for a car to run sub 4.6s. So we had some 4.1s and 4.2s and 4.3s, and like those were correct laps, the wrong lap times. And so what I did, I worked on my bridge on Sunday night, and I basically created, I cut some cardboard and taped in between the sensors to create kind of put them in a box, just so that they wouldn't pick up reflections off of the cars. And I think that's what's happening, is you would get a car that's pretty shiny and the light would reflect as it was going through and cause a lap in the adjoining lane, which was a few, tenths ahead of that other car. And so you'd get those quick laps. So now I've got it set up. We're going to do some testing. I'm probably going to throw some ghost cars in and see if I can, it's pretty easy to see when it happens. So I'm hoping that the work that I did fixed it. But outside of that, the Arduino and the IR brake sensors worked great. We didn't miss any laps. We didn't have any ghost laps. All that seems to be worked out. Just this little timing tweak, and I think I may have fixed it. I was going to lower my bridge a little bit. It might be a little too high. So I think I'm going to bring the bridge down about an inch. I want to make sure that my van, my bus, can get underneath the bridge. And we don't have any issues there. But outside of that, Mark, enjoy your Omni slot box. That's a great device. It will serve you well. And, good stuff. Carrera already delayed a few liveries to be released this year here. I'm not surprised. They have a lot planned in their range. D'Angelo, 2-line slot cars. I was able to build 2 IR bridges and configure them for use with Race Coordinator. Now, if I could get fast laps, that would be a trick. Yeah, man, we had a great, if you watch the live stream from Saturday, you can see this TV screen, and Fast Laps looks really, really good. And Patrick even was tuned in and sent me a message after we were done racing and said, hey, watching you guys race gave me some ideas on how to change a few things. So in the next update, we've got a couple little tweaks coming, so that's pretty cool. And then he's also working on Up Next or On Deck. That's the next big thing is when you're in a race, you can glance up and see who's coming in on yellow, like for my track, in the next heat, so that people can be prepared. So, yeah, Vin, something prevents me from putting my Revo John Player Porsche 911 GT Revo. I can't find anyone anywhere. If I knew it wasn't rare, I'd race it. Yeah, Vin, that one, if you just look at that number, 0050, that means it's probably in the first, it's either in the first 5 cars that Revo Slot produced or the first 50. So I'm not sure that it's rare. It's just one of the original liveries and cars that Revo released. So It's up to you. I don't have any shelf queens. Although I might now. I might have one. Ugliest Ferrari ever produced, but the Magic Triangle makes it special as a slot car. There you go. I glued the bearings and tires back, no luck. I took the motor out, and it had a spot of glue in it. So I ordered a new pod, and now it's smooth. Must have been a factory defect. Here you go, Greg. That's cool. If Dumbo gets elected in November, keep in mind that all imports next year will rise up to 20%. Not good for business world and us consumers. Grogu and Mr. Despicable heads incoming. Nice. If you soak red tires in water with a bit of bleach, they become pink. Hey, Justin Decker. Welcome. Glad you're here. Red Helmet Dude or King Kong, no brainer. Very nice illumination of the track. Not shady anymore, Marty. Yeah, Bo, I've got I probably could add a few more lights to it, but the magnetic racing lights do an awesome job on the corners, and I've got some decent overhead. So Bo, butter is crazy expensive right now. For a pound of butter, it's like $4.50 to $6, depending on the brand. So yeah, we've really seen an increase in butter prices. No lie. I'm a guy who likes to bake, and so it has a big impact on me. Jerry, thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Hey, Mad P. Welcome. I guess in the U.S. and Canada, the Carrera NASCARs will sell out fast, but not here that fast, but they will eventually, huh? So I am a bit relaxed on that, but there are a few Porsches and McLarens incoming. That's right. Good for you. As well as the Ferrari 296 GT. You can see how John Mark's driving has improved. Nice, consistent pace, consistent without trying to overdrive the car. Yeah, and if you look at his lap times, like they're really starting to line up. John Mark is really like getting more consistent. And like this is perfect for him. Like nobody else on the track, just getting laps in. So even though I might jump up here in a minute and chase him around the track a little bit. Greg, I pre-ordered mine several months ago, and they're supposed to be here Thursday. Woohoo! That's cool. Hey, Patriot. Welcome. There's no release date for the Corvette C8R so far yet. They stated the release to be in 2025. Gary, you're going to see if Great Traditions. I'm sure that they'll have the NASCARs. I was just going to comment that the car is pretty loose, but it was getting around pretty good till it wasn't. I use Smart Race for both digital and analog. Yeah, it does a nice job. Greg, did you ever get your analog timing fixed? You must have, because I think weren't you having problems? Yeah. That's right. Hey, John D. Good day from Melbourne. Thanks for joining. Good to have you. And did I see Shane jump in? Hey, good morning, Shane. Thanks for jumping in. Man, Shane, I really like Shane's wood layout. He's got a great layout. It just looks like a fun time. The thing to be said about Carrera cars is they look fantastic. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, these these really look good. The NASCAR too. Good night, Tony. See you, man. Thanks for joining. Have the Revo John Player Special 911, one of the first two that turned me into a Revo slut. A few thousand laps later, it's still beautiful. So yeah, I think that John Player Special is an early Revo slot. So Vin, Ginger, or Marianne. I was kind of a Marianne fan. Butter doesn't even taste like butter anymore in the U.S. Boy, you're right. Yep, here too, but only by quality in terms of eggs. So it's expensive to buy them anyway before the prices ran up. Waiting for the Team Gustin Thunderslot. That, I did want to talk about that. Okay, bravo Thunderslot. I'm not surprised that Daryl didn't want the white one.
Blue.
You want blue? Practicing on blue lane?
Yep.
That's right. John Albright says you should run the garbage lanes. If you can be good in the garbage lanes, the easy,
Garbage lanes on this lane.
easy. It's easy to get around the track. Where was I? Yeah. Oh, the Thunderslots. Yeah, I think that those two new liveries. It looks like those are going to be out in December. Those are great liveries. I really like both of them. But I think that the Gunston will be a very popular livery. People like that Gunston livery on Group C cars, and that's probably one of the earlier Gunston liveries. So very, very cool that Thunderslot's releasing those. They've had a lot of releases this year. It's been pretty impressive. Well done for them. I hope that they've had a great year, because they're, obviously you just hear me say it all the time. They're one of my favorites. Oh, Greg, that's great to hear that you got that working out. Yeah, it does a nice job. William, the Kerrygold butter is good, but it's expensive. But it is very, very good, and it tastes like butter should taste, for sure. Chris, it's way too white for me. Yes, I like the Gunston Ferrari, but I really like the Steve McQueen Lola. Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. It's awesome. I think it's great. Ginger for a sprint race, Marianne for the win. There you the things that happen in the chat. Hilarious. So yeah, Thunderslot. I mean, gosh, how many new cars did they release this year? Let me bring it up here. I'll just go to LEB Hobbies. And then if I look at slot cars, 1/32 scale, if I say Thunderslot, and if I do this, oh wait, that's first web. Oh no, it's B, browser. So we've got this Lola. We've got the Lola 270 in the white and green and the light blue number 9. Got a white kit. We had the Mark Donahue. We've had the John Surtees. We had the Nassau Classic, AJ Foyt. We've had the Bridgehampton. We had the M6B, the Dick Brown 28. else do we have? We have, man. So let's count that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, including the white kit. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 15 new cars just on that page from Thunderslot. And if we go to pre-order, and we look at Thunderslot pre-orders, nope, they don't have the new ones out there yet for pre-order. So that's 15, 16, that's 17 new liveries from Thunderslot this year. And I might be missing a couple that were sold out that are not on that page. Like that, guys, that's impressive. I mean, that just from one company. So I wonder how many new cars came out this year. Here's the October pre-orders. Just those two. And if you guys notice that the C1 from MR Slot Car, they're still taking pre-orders for the white kit, but you can no longer get the number 3. It is sold out. It is sold out. So, I mean, think about that. Like that really is that is a busy year for Thunderslot. That's a lot of cars. So 15 to, I mean, there's close to 20 cars just from Thunderslot. And that's a small niche slot car company. They really focus on Can-Am cars, and they've got the Mustang. But outside of that, it's a lot of cars, guys. That's impressive. What else? What is cheap and will be offered here is alcohol, candy, and other non-healthy stuff. Everything else is skyrocketing. Yeah, man. John D., the other new Thunderslot is one sponsored by a UK ice cream company. Definitely Mrs. Howe. Get money for slots from her. Good choice, Ben. Hey, thanks, Mike. I'm glad you like it. Oh, yeah. Get some laps on that thing. Appreciate that. Chris, 2-line slot cars, quite a few. I have gone from 0 to a lot of both Thunderslot and Revo slot. And that's our fault, Chris. We apologize. We apologize. Bo, if I migrate to Ohio because pets are a good chance to hunt there. Thunderslot needs to get on the Trans Am cars to run with the Mustangs. I think so too. I think that's probably what we'll see from them maybe next year is some additional cars from there. I don't know. That's just me guessing, but yeah, it would be great to have something else to run against the Mustang. Sorry, guys. Looking for a tiny wily coyote head. Look under the boulder. That's great. Because of being a Thunderslut is a thing too. Yes, it is. I don't have a ton of them though. I've behaved. I have a Mustang. I have the M6. I have the Mustang. I have the M6A. I have the Ferrari. I have the Elva. And I think that's it. But they are my favorite cars to run. John D., I thought Marco from Electric Dreams said 4,000 new cars being released this year, including the expensive tiny run makers. John, if that's true, that is a ton of cars. I don't know how. Is the hobby big enough to absorb that many new releases in 1 year. 4,000 new cars. I feel like that number's got to be high. I would maybe 1,000 cars. I mean, when you think like Carrera, if you count digital and analog, I mean, they're probably close to 100 cars. Scalextric was about the same. That's 200 cars. But then, you know, NSR, maybe 50 cars. It starts adding up. So maybe that 4,000 seems like a big number. But I remember him, John, I do remember him talking about that. I just don't remember what that number was. What else? Tim, head sales. I don't know anybody that sells just like drivers' heads. I imagine maybe 3D printing them might be an option. How many have you bought in 10 months, Marty? So from January till now, Greg, that's a great question. I have bought 1, 2, 3. Four, 5, 6, 7. I think I've purchased 7 or 8 new cars. That sounds right. So enough. Almost one a month. I'm just shy of one a month. But that's probably not even close to some other people. Let's see here. Oh, head sales. Okay, I already answered that. 3D, yep. I think that might be your only option, Tim, on some of those, especially if you're wanting like cartoon characters, Wile E. Coyote and stuff. John says Revo slot averages 3, sometimes more per month, killing wallets throughout the slot car world. So if they average 3 a month, I mean, that's close to 40 cars for the year. That's impressive. That's a great number. See, I feel like that's doable. And I'm not sure that you're still overwhelming, because not every livery, not every car people will want. But when you think of, they released 6 of those Marcos at once, right? So that was a big release. John D., although the Thunderslot Shelby Mustang 350 is a production sports car, but most groups will let it run in Trans Am. They let it run in Trans Am this last year for us. It's actually what I got my first win with, is my Thunderslot Mustang. So, Steve, the Thunderslot Corvette pre-order for mid-December. Yes. The target date, I don't know if you were on last week or not. I got a call from Ernie Mazzetti, and he said that they were on track for that release date. So, yep, things are looking good for the C1. All right, man. Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Yep. Be safe.
All right.
Yeah, it gets late. Quick, watch your head. John D. Pete Brown of Track Fans reminded me of the 4,000 new releases, all liveries. Okay, on Sundays live with him. Okay, thanks, John. That's just that number's crazy. That is just hard to believe. 4,000 different liveries of different cars. Blue Panther. Super jealous of all the car options in that scale. No room for that ATM. Anything I've got, a camera, Carrera GoTrack converted with power supply and copper taped rails. So only HO and 143rd. Yeah, Blue Panther. Even though Carrera talks about the 143rd scale is their most popular scale, there doesn't seem to be a lot of releases in the 143rd, which I think, I'm honestly, if I didn't know anything and hadn't done any research, I probably would have originally picked up a Carrera GoTrack because you can build one heck of a track in a small space, right? But they just don't have enough options when it comes to cars. The 1/32nd scale is killing it. Killing it. MR slot car? Yes. Yep. Area 71, Racer, Fly, SRC, Harry, George, Shotgun Dave, all kinds of niche releases. Yeah, that's fair to count those. I mean, Harry, George, and Shotgun Dave, man, they're single-handedly taking on the scratch build world and giving us awesome bodies. I mean, where's my demon? It's laying around here someplace. That's going to be one of my build for the showdown. I need to get started on it. But yeah, like great. They're doing an awesome job. Like I'm super proud of them. They saw the need and saw that nobody was meeting that need, and they went out and they're now meeting the need. And that's the entrepreneurial spirit, right? It's like you have an idea, and how do you figure out how to make a little bit of money off of it? And what's crazy about those guys is, they're like donating all that back to Home Racing World to keep that up and going. And that's what's really cool. And they're, giving things away, and they're just being super kind to people in the hobby, and that's really awesome. So I really just appreciate that from those guys, that they are really, really care about what's going on in the hobby. So no one can ever question that from those guys. We can question lots of other people, whether their heart really is in the hobby or not, but not those guys. Nope, no way. So I hope somebody says that about me one day, because I do. We've jumped in with both feet, and I love this. This hobby is great. It's why I show up every Tuesday as much as I possibly can. It's just become kind of a part of my life. Talking slot cars, racing slot cars. I get messages all the time from people saying, "Hey, can you send me your track layout? I love your layout. Hey, the old 2-lane layout do you still have that?" And so I feel like every day I'm sharing my layout designs with people. But don't ask me to tune a car. Obviously, the way I raced this weekend, I don't know how to tune a car. So stop. Don't trust me for that. Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. Eight cars times 500 guys is 400 cars. Thanks for reminding what I ordered. That's great. Maybe sooner if you want one, get the pre-order in. That Mike, every week, Bruce is a nice guy. Yes, Bruce is. Mike, have you ever dealt with Cincy slots? Mike, yes, all the time. We drive down to Cincinnati. I'm about an hour and 50 minutes from Cincy slots here in Chillicothe, Ohio. And we try to get down there as many Thursday nights as we can throughout the winter. So, yep, we think the world of Bruce. Bruce is he's been nothing but very good to us. So, if you would like to support him. You can, if you're, especially if you're looking for unique cars that have been in somebody's collection, he does a lot of that, buying collections and then reselling those cars so that people have a chance to buy cars that maybe they missed out on the first time around. So, yes, great guy. 4,000 cars, liveries. That's just Rebuslan. That's right. 4x8, all I can muster until the kids all move out. So 4x8 at 1/43rd scale on HO is a great layout. Like that is like the perfect size. I think you can fit a lot of track on a 4x8 and some fun racing. You're not missing out on anything. I'm fortunate. Again, like you said, till your kids move out. My kids don't live here anymore. They come visit and race slot cars with me. But like I've got the whole basement to myself. My wife doesn't like to come down here. It's too dusty and dirty for her. And so it's just become my domain, with some storage as well, to be fair. And it's the furnace room. It's it's kind of the catch-all. But I've got this big room. This room is probably 38 or 40 feet long. I still have 10, 12 feet to the wall from where I'm sitting. And I know this track is 26 feet in length, and there's 2 feet on the other end of the track to get by and around it. And then it's about 14 feet wide, and it's at its widest, and it narrows a little bit. So it goes down to about 11, 12 feet here. So it's a little tight by the driver stations, but it's like the perfect place for 1/32nd scale. I've got a nice size layout. It's not gigantic, but it's not little either. It fits the space well. It accommodated, almost 10 people racing. It was a little tight, but nobody complained. Everybody had a great time. So yeah, 4x8, that's what you got room for. Build it and have fun and race it. Keeping the Carrera 143rd releases down keeps tooling costs down. Even limited liveries keep prices down. Yeah, John, I would agree with that. I mean, they probably just do bigger runs, right? Because they sell a lot more of the 143rd scale. Dave Kennedy talks about that all the time. So, they might make, instead of, we get 1,500 or 1,800 of a car in a livery. They might do, 8 or 10,000 of those cars in the 143rd scale. But we just know that they sell a whole lot more 143rd scale. But I would say that most of those 143rd scale stuff is not permanent. Those tracks get put together, played with for a few weeks, packed back up. A couple months later, they come back out. They play with them for a little while, and then pack them back up. I doubt a lot of those 143rd race sets that get sold are ever permanent layouts. So, but maybe I'm wrong. But I kind of doubt it. Tim, my Carrera Digital incorporates my dumb Go track. Yeah. Bo, I don't know why I play with toys, bicycles, slot cars, and still playing a little lacrosse. Oh, man. Lacrosse is fun. My girls played in high school. My youngest, Caroline, she was pretty good. Hey, Shotgun Dave. Good to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. Probably about dinner time for you, isn't it? Hamster Steve, you never know when the upcoming winter will be over. I play guitars. I play guitars too. I gave up becoming a rock star as well, Bo. You're in good company, brother. Great that you foster. My lovely wife wants to, but I know the pack will triple at least. Yeah. My oldest daughter, she fosters, and they have 2 dogs of their own, and every time they foster, they're like, we could do a third, and I'm just like, nope. You foster them, and then you move them on to a great home. That's let's see here. Justin says, I've been using Paul Gage tires. After I true them, my lap times get worse. I'm not polishing them enough. How do you guys finish off your tires after 2 or 320 grit? Justin, I'm not a big urethane guy, so I'm not sure the best answer for you on that. So maybe somebody else could help you. I know that Shotgun Dave, he runs urethanes. I know George runs urethanes on his track. So it would be good to know. Your tires, your lap time shouldn't get worse after you true your Paul Gage tires. I would not think. I would think that you improve that patch, that surface area for grip, that you should get better. And then Gina asked, do they make the 143rd the 3? I'm not sure I understand, Gina. Do they make the 143rd the 3? I'm not sure. There's Dave. Hey. Justin D, I've seen guys do 2000 grit sandpaper. There you go. To polish those urethanes. Mike, thanks. I dealt with Josh from Cincy Slots. Josh is a great dude. We love Josh. He's a quick guy, too, on the track. He tunes cars really well, and he's a good driver. So he's always up there towards the top of the list. So, and he knows what he's talking about. Yep, good guy. Josh is kind of an introvert, though. So he's kind of quiet on the phone. I'm glad he was helped you, Mike. He's a good guy. We think the world of him. It's hard to let them good. We did have a foster fail. Spiky going to a new home really tore me up yesterday. I miss the little guy. Yeah, you get attached to them, man. I'm going to start baking my own cookies. I can't pronounce 75% of the ingredients in Chip Soy. Vin, I have a really good chocolate chip cookie recipe. It actually is a really good chocolate chip cookies. 4x8 saves money on horsepower. That's right. Yep, Mike, Josh is a great dude. Yep. Hey, 66 Slaughter, good day. Welcome. Yes, 2000 and beyond. Wow. For urethanes, I guess I need to polish my urethanes a little better when I send my cars in. Daryl loaned Josh my Thunderslot, and he got second place with it and hadn't run a car in 6 months. I never get second with that car. That's what I said. He's good. He's fast guy. It's 9:23, guys. Just about anything we missed? We haven't really. Oh, yes. Speaking of Daryl Rogers. So, Daryl, let me take the lid off. On Saturday, you guys know Daryl loves to throw fly cars at me to tune. But check out another 911 GT 1 Evo. And what's cool about this one is this is the Victory Junction Gang livery. And what's cool about this car is it was driven by Kyle Petty, Paul Newman, and Gunnar. What's Gunnar's last name? Gunnar Jeanette. Yeah. Check out that livery. That's a fun livery. And these cars aren't great on the track. You got to really, really tune them. Their biggest issue is you get some tire rub, because look how it goes around the tire, and you get any kind of body movement in, and those tires rub. But I have the swap shop, and I upgraded it, put a slot invasion. Thank you, Oscar. slot invasion guide on this, and silicone tires, Super Tires. Thank you, Super Tires. And so that's what we'll do with this one, is we'll get it tuned up. But very cool. So Daryl, thanks. He likes to throw curveballs at me. But he was like, that other Porsche needs a running mate. So now I've got 2 of the 911s. And they're fun cars. Flies are fun. They look great. Look how good those cars look. Come on. But very cool car. So, Daryl, thanks, man. Appreciate that. I don't know if anybody knows anything about the Victory Junction Gang, but that is it is a ministry or a camp that the Pettys, Richard Petty and Kyle Petty and the Petty family have a lot to do with. If I'm not mistaken, it's down in North Carolina. And they've put a lot of kids through that program. So I think a lot of it has to do with inner city kids get a chance to go out on a farm and have some fun. So very, very cool. It's a good looking car. And then I've got a video coming out this Saturday. Let me grab it. And it's an unboxing of sorts. And I wasn't going to really share anything about it, but I won't open it up. But I got this in the mail. And this is my first Slaughter Classic. I do not have this brand of slot car, and I'm not going to open it up tonight, but it is a limited edition, and our brother Sean Casey sent this to me, and my birthday's coming up, and he sent it to me for my birthday. How cool is that? And so on Saturday, I'll release kind of the unboxing of this and show you the car, but it's really cool car. I don't know how well it performs, but it is about detail. That's what I will say. It is all about the detail. So if anybody else has had a Slaughter, they know that there's a lot of engine detail. The chassis, it's made to look like a die-cast car that has a guide on the front. So looks really, really cool. So I don't know if this one will ever hit the track. But it's a beautiful car. So I'll share that in the video on Saturday. You guys can check it out then. But does anybody have any Slaughter cars? What can you tell me about them? Then I've never really had any success with urethane tires. We use rubber on wood track. Yeah, I think wood and urethane are your choices for a wood track. Although Butch uses silicone on his, and it works really well. I finished my pole gauge tires with 1,000 grit. That's cool. And your cars hook up really well. So it sounds like that works really well. What else do we have? What else? His first year playing. Oh, yeah. Your son's playing football. Did you have a game tonight? That's awesome. I'm back and I caught a raccoon. Had to relocate him. I used to catch them in my trash can in my old house. We don't get them here downtown. We probably get other rodents. Let's see here. It's a secret Weber. With me, it's not guitars, but saxophones and slot cars, the cats, and RC aircraft. There you go. 67 watch, 52 likes. We're accomplishing a lot tonight. Thanks, Steve. I don't know that we ever really accomplish much, but we have a good time doing it. Color Dream. Yeah, for that livery. It's cool. I sometimes wish I could still play then I come to my senses. I still play some soccer, and I'm still an idiot because I'm getting way too old to play some soccer. Let's see. All my amps and cabinets have become shelves already. I should have never gave up my rehearsal room. Steve, the biggest issue is they are slow. You're talking about Slaughter. Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting a lot of performance out of it when I look at all the detail. It's a pretty heavy car, and it's, it's not a motor pod car. It's just a straight chassis. Chassis looks like the underneath the car. We're talking musical instruments here. All right. I'm way too old and decrepit now, John. I'm living vicariously through my son. That's right. Driver, Racer X. Sounds good to me. Victory Junction. My bike room is now my slot car room. Daryl, it was too white to keep. That's funny, Daryl. Adam Petty started it for disabled kids. Yes. Thanks, Dusty. I couldn't remember actually who started it, whether it was Richard but it was Adam. Yeah, it's very, very cool. I knew I'd read about it a long, long time ago when I think they had the NASCAR with that livery on it, if I'm not mistaken. John, I will try to put a reference in the comments if I find where Marco from Electric Dreams said 4,000 slot cars annually released, or Pete Brown. Okay, yeah, John, it's not that just number just seems so big to me. It's kind of hard to wrap your mind around that we had a choice. I just counted. I've bought 8 cars in the last 10 months, and there were 4,000 new cars this year. I'm not doing a very good job. That car has some amazing detail. Yes. So, yeah, you'll see it all in the video. I have to save something for Saturday, right? Have you tried finishing urethanes with crocus cloth? Nope. I've never thought about that. But that would polish them up, I would think. I have a Fly Alfa Romeo TZ2 coming. Nice, Weber. That'll be fun. Those fly cars, John, all right. I have a few Slaughters, decent runners once tuned. John, Slaughter, very fly-like, but a bit better. Usually beat the fly cars. Okay. Then I love silicone tires for the first 10 laps or so, and then they need cleaning. Yeah. They like to pick up the dirt. I've never raced on foam. Our friend Ross races Revo slots on his track. He has a wood track, and he runs foam tires. So, Vin, I'm with you. I've never tried foam. Tim, telescope, slots, hummingbirds. Soccer, football with knee socks. That's right. And shorts, too. Okay, what rubber tires are you using? I'm not using rubber tires. But a lot of people like those slotted G22s, or what, if that's what they were, I think. A lot of people like those. A lot of people like the NSR rubber. Yeah. Soccer destroyed my knees, but opened the door to other things. Chris, our birthdays must be pretty close. What day's your birthday? If you know how many cars you have bought, then you don't buy enough. Let's all play the lottery, and if we win, we buy them all. There you go, Bo. I've spent a little time with some of the Petty family. They are salt of the earth people. Steve, John Mark and I saw Richard at SEMA 2 years ago, and we actually bumped into him a couple times. And, yeah, it seems like just super down to earth. Very successful people. Football for the rest of the world. Life is gladly more than hunting balls and pucks. It has so much to offer for us. Yep. All right. It's 9:36. I'm going to wrap up, guys. Isn't music Crocus? Yes, Vin. Crocus is a music group from the 80s. Vin, I don't know what kind of music you listen to. I listen to a podcast called 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. And now they've relaunched, and it's 60 songs that explain the 90s, the 2000s. And so they're between 2000 and 2010. He's sharing each week, shares songs and like the history of the song. And the guy's pretty funny, and he's not from far from here. And so if you're ever looking for a music podcast, it's from The Ringer. It's really good. Oh, Chris, there you go. November 10th. I'm the 8th, brother. Happy November birthday. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. One more here. There are a lot of great rubber tires out there. Test, and test some more. Yep. Hope everybody has a great week. I do too. Guys, thanks for tuning in. And don't forget, got a new video coming Saturday. Will be about the slaughter from our buddy Sean. Thanks again, Sean. Daryl, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Disappointed you didn't get any laps in on Saturday, but we appreciate you being the race manager for us. And I guess I got to get to tuning, man. I got to get this car running good. I definitely need to get this car running better. So, guys, thanks. Have a great week, and go have some fun racing.